Chris333, and I'm going to do a quick video here today on my thoughts on the Ferro rod. The ferrocerium rod, things we use to start fires often in bushcraft or survival situations. They throw sparks, they start fires. Ferro rods are awesome. They're very reliable. They work when they're wet, they work when they're cold, when matches and lighters often don't. But they do take a lot of practice, and there's more to it than just sitting down and throwing sparks and whatever you work lights. There's technique that is involved, and there's also the striker, and that's specifically what I want to talk about today, because the striker that you use, I find sometimes to even trump technique. If you have a good striker, technique, while still mattering, doesn't matter as much. And I know, there's a lot out there on YouTube on the ferrocerium rods, but I see people using them wrongly sometimes. I know a lot of you probably know a lot of this, but I'm going to talk a little bit about strikers today, because I think they matter. If you have any thoughts or disagreements, especially when it comes to the whole technique versus striker, let me know. I learn a lot from people's comments. Glad to have them. But you have this is just a Coghlan's fire steel, great fire steel, horrible striker. I mean, using this thing, I don't get great sparks. You've got the Swedish fire steel. This striker is going to be a lot better, even on the Coghlan's one. I don't know if you could see that, but that's throwing a lot better sparks. It throws good sparks off this one too, and that's really important to know. Does the striker on your fire steel work well, or is it a piece of junk? But even more than that, I find that you using something that's my own, something that didn't come with it, is often better. I prefer and love the back of a little saw blade that comes out of a multi-tool. You've got really sharp 90-degree angles. Anything with a sharp 90-degree angle is going to work really good. I've got the Strikeforce fire steel. That's a great little striker there, but man, I find that even the back of this saw from the multi-tool, or the back of a knife, is gonna work even better. You can use your knives. The back of the knife, I recommend. The front of the knife will work too, but it's gonna mess up your blade. There's a lot of debate on that as well, but I'm gonna recommend using the back so it doesn't mess it up. But if you're in a situation and all you have is the front, if that's even possible, use the front. But yeah, the back of these things works a ton better, and here's why this matters. If you're just using, something you've carried into the field that's an accelerant, like a wet fire, or a cotton ball soaked in Vaseline, anything like that, which striker you use probably doesn't matter that much. But if, because it takes a little bit of sparks, it's going to light. But if you're just trying to light natural materials, if you don't have something that you've brought in, you're just trying to light wood chips, how much, if you can get, dude, did you see that? Whoa. I mean, that's crazy. If you can get a lot of sparks, it's going to start your fire more quickly and more efficiently, and that's what you want, especially if you're in an emergency situation, or you're just trying to impress your friends. Quicker it lights, the better it looks, or if you're just trying to make a YouTube video. But hey, let me show you here in a second some of the different ways. I'll even show you some of the different techniques and the ones I prefer. But more importantly, I want to show you this in action lighting wood. So stick with me. Okay, so I've got a little pile of shavings here. Nothing special, just dried out pine wood. And I'm going to try to start a fire with it. And if you'll notice, let's say if I'm using the striker here, I mean, this thing almost isn't worth showing. But there's a couple ways you can do it, of course. You can pull, so you're not moving this as much as pulling. But man, that's just not making many sparks at all. Another way is if you can brace it really tight and kind of work. That gets a little bit more, but you do move this around a little bit. But the striker is not great on here. This one that comes with the Swedish fire steel is better. I mean, definitely getting better, but I'm not lighting it right away. I'd get it if I went a little bit longer. The Strikeforce one, this is a great fire steel. Kind of same thing here. Bringing in, this is my favorite way. Instead of pulling, I prefer to brace it and really rub hard to get some good in there. You can also use the back of your knife. That works good too. But man, I really, and all the different things I've used in different multi-tools, the back of a file or the back of the saw is awesome. And I kind of want to show you, even with this little cheaper ferro rod, I'm getting crazy sparks. And what's going on is I'm getting more of the actual, dude, and it's lit. There it goes. I might have to work on it a little bit more. But this isn't like a cotton ball. Let's see, I've got fire. And that's with using this. Now, I don't think I put that much effort in, and I had it right away. I had to work on it a little bit more. But man, the back of a saw, and you know, technique doesn't matter as much if you're throwing crazy sparks all over the place. Don't give up on technique, but it doesn't matter as much. So overall, obviously, one of the big things I've learned is that, you know, using the back of a saw or something with a tight 90-degree angle on it works really well. You can even sometimes file down your knife to do that. You can file down a Mora knife. I saw an awesome video, I think by I.A. Woodsman. Put a link to that on the bottom of how to file it down, Mora knife, to get it really sharp to use. But this is going to work a lot better than the strikers that it comes with. All those strikers will work, and if you had enough time, you're going to get your fire. That's for sure. But if you want to do it faster, the better striker's gonna win the day every time. And on technique, man, I just say practice a lot. Find out the different methods and the different ways you like, so when you get out in the woods and you just start a fire, you want to start a fire, you can do it as quickly and efficiently as possible. And for me, that means fat wood. So I'm going to end this video starting some fires with fat wood. There you go. Let's burn some fat wood. My whole world is going to smell good in a few moments here. And if you're using a good accelerant, good tinder, like fat wood, it's going to be easy. But it's way easier if you're using a good striker. So, striker, important. Practice lots of different ones. Find out what you like. Hope that's helpful. And thoughts on the ferro rods. Getting smoked out with wonderful black, smelly smoke.